All right, so now that you've learned how to use sound files, we're going to look at how we can actually get songs and longer songs to play, because as most of you know, that the background of video games is a lot of times musical songs that are played in that background. So what I need you to do is go to my classroom website, download dancingqueen.mp3, and then from there we're going to move forward. So remember, if you click here, it'll play, and then if you press the download button here, you'll be able to download it to your game. So download that onto your computer, and then from here I need you to log in onto your project from the last video where it was sounds, and we're going to start adding in a song here momentarily as well. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to assume you have this project open from the previous video. And what I need you to do is we're going to actually load in this picture. Now, just to make sure we're connected to the right program, let's click File, Open, click on our names, Visual Studio 2015, Projects, Lesson 5 Sounds, and go into the Content folder and connect to the pipeline. So here we can see we are in fact connected. We can see that right off the bat. So now we're going to right click and do add a existing item that we've already downloaded. Go into our downloads folder and you can see that I've downloaded dancingqueen.mp3. So something to note about these songs that we're about to add in is what we're about to do only works with MP3. So if you for some reason didn't have an MP3 file, you had an M4A or whatever it was, you can always change this extension to be MP3 and see if it will still work. So I changed this previously and it does work, but note that this will only work with MP3. So if you click open and then click copy the file to directory and press OK, it'll add that in. And then remember, we always want to rebuild it to make sure that it is set and ready to go. Songs do take a little bit longer, so give them some time. And you can see that my build was in fact successful. So now if I right click on content, add existing item, we can add in that Dancing Queen file. You should make sure it's clicked on all files. It'll add that song right in. So if we want to use songs in our program, like an MP3 file, we need to also incorporate something else into the beginning of our program. So here we're going to do at Microsoft.xna.framework, and audio, while it works for sound effect files, will not work for a song. So what we need to use instead is we need to use something called media. So this is, we added in so we can use the MP3 song methods and objects built into the media class. So that's what we're doing right there, is we're going to bring in that media file so that we can actually use these songs. So now from here, we're going to come down here, and I'm going to add a new section here. I'm going to add in a song, and I'm going to call it Dancing Queen. So here is where we're creating an object to hold the .mp3 file, which in this case is the Dancing Queen song that I was talking about. So again, just like before, we don't actually need to create a rectangle or a vector to hold this because we don't need it displayed on our screen. We just need the song loaded into the program. So if we go down to load content, that's where we're going to load this in. It's called Dancing Queen. We're going to do this .content.load. Again, it's very similar to loading in any type of file. This is a song object. Pretty simple to remember. And this one is called Dancing, and you can see an underscore Queen. And remember, it needs to match perfectly. So make sure that it has that underscore and it matches. Now from here, we're going to actually run down here and kind of the same thing, but this time we're going to make our song play when A is pressed. And we could go through this whole process again, but we're not going to, just for the sake of time, so that you can see how these songs are added and kind of move forward. So here we're going to say, okay, if pad1.buttons, maybe we'll use the start button this time, is equal to button state dot pressed. If the start button is pressed, then we're going to play the song. And this one is not as simple as the snare drum up here. So this one was just snare.play, the name of our sound effect object.play. This is a little bit different. So in this one, there's actually something built into the media player. So we actually need to access the media player that is built into the media class. And what we're going to do is we're going to access the media player's play function, and we're going to tell it to play the song Dancing Queen. So this is a little bit different. What you'll notice here is we access the media player, access its play method, not player, but play, and send in a parameter of the song we want played. So that's what's really happening here. Now delete that L out, that shouldn't be there. But we're going into the media player, we're going to its play method, and we're sending in a parameter of the Dancing Queen song that we want played. So now if I press start, what you will notice is that the snare still works when I press the B button. But if I press the start button, you'll hear the Dancing Queen song start. And if I press start again, it'll restart the song. So the way that it's set up right now, you can restart the song as many times as you want with that button. That just gives you an idea of how to play a song in the background of your game. So notice that it will keep playing, and by default, it will keep playing that song until the song ends. And once the song ends, the song will turn off and we're done with the song. So what we'll learn in the next video is some extensions on the media player and how we can keep songs playing or stop them or something of that nature. So that's kind of where we are headed. And so kind of experiment a little bit more with sound effects and songs, and then you can move on to that next lesson.